What's up, everyone? My name is Zach Verscore. Today I'm working on replacing the clutch hydraulics in my 1991 Mazda Miata. So the reason we're doing this today is because the other day I was in the drive-thru getting coffee with my wife. She was driving, and all of a sudden our clutch, well, now obviously it's not running, so it goes in, but it was not going into first gear. So there we were, stuck in the drive-thru. I had to get out, push it around a little bit. But as you can see, I tried to rebleed it. There is no pressure at all now. When I was bleeding it was all bubbles. So we're thinking we got a hydraulic problem. So first thing we're doing is we're removing this old crusty clutch master cylinder, which this was full of fluid when I left it last Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, Saturday, which it's only been 5 days, and it is totally empty, so I definitely have something leaking in my hydraulic system. All right, so first step in getting this thing out is gonna be removing this line here. And I went and bought one of them crowfoot wrenches because I gave one twist on this with a box end and it immediately started stripping. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna mess with that. Yeah, that's cracked loose. We're gonna get that out. Next step is those bolts. All right, as you can see, I got this line out, and I've already got one of the nuts out, and this broke loose. We're just gonna get her out the rest of the way out. I love this U-joint, not U-joint, but it's like a ball joint instead of a U-joint. It is so much sturdier, doesn't bind up. Oh man, I love this. This one's a performance tool part. I know a lot of other brands make it, but boom, easy enough. All right, so as you can see, we got it, and yeah, there's had a little friend on there for a little bit. This thing sat for a while. I just got it running this summer, but it was sitting about 3 years, and for a while it was behind a barn. So yeah, but the nicest thing about these guys, oh, make sure not to drip more damn fluid on my paint, is that instead of having that attached rod that you have to disconnect from the pedal, the rod just goes straight in there, so you don't even need to get under that tiny little dash to undo any of this. So yeah, now for putting that sucker on. All right, so as you can see, that's all put back together and tightened up. I forgot to mention, this is of course 10 millimeter. This guy back here, it's 12, and there's another one on the other side angled up like that. I'm just gonna leave this shop towel here until we're done bleeding later in the video, just because it's not great paint by any means, but I would like to keep it as nice as I can. You know, it's definitely seen better days, but I like her. So anyway, next step, we're getting under here. So you can sort of kind of see where it goes in, where the slave cylinder is sort of the bleeder valve, but we're gonna jack her up, get under her, and get this thing done. Okay, so as you can see, right back there's that slave cylinder. It's got 2 more bolts. I'm pretty sure those are 12s. I wouldn't imagine they'd be any different. Of course, a bleeder screw, and that line, you can see it sort of, yeah, right there. Ooh, I might have to spray that actually before I go give her a crank, but I'm gonna break that loose as well as the other 2 side bolts there, and we'll pull her off. Okay, so as you can see, this is broken loose here on the slave cylinder. Yeah, I couldn't fit my impact, and I couldn't even fit like a regular ratchet wrench, so I'm using a ratcheting, well, like, you know what I mean, ratcheting wrench, of course. But yeah, we're getting this sucker out. As you can see, we'll just kind of push back. Oh, geez, there it is. I'll just kind of push back to get it out of that, but we're not going to worry about that till it's all the way loose, which maybe I'll just... Nope. Oh, Lord. Yeah, well, there we go. So, yeah, these are just 12 mils, just like the master cylinder was. And, yeah, once we pop this part out... Oh, there we go. And then this little pin just slides out right there. And boom, baby. You got yourself a slave cylinder. All right, so here we've got our new part. As I said, it's a power torque. It is CS 2152 or Clutch Slave 2152. And thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I have replaced this, but I was just replacing both of them because you can see like it's grimy, but it's not near as bad as some of the other stuff that's underneath it. But yeah, I'm thinking I replaced that before, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and throw this sucker in because I just don't want to leave anything unfinished because I hate bleeding breaker clutch lines. I just don't like doing it. So I want to get this done all in one go. Both of these were like 30 bucks each, the slave cylinder and the master cylinder. I already replaced the rubber clutch line that was in there. There's like a little one kind of just right there. You can see it behind that intake and valve cover there. Just like 1.5 foot rubber line. The rest of it's all steel, but all those steel lines looked really good, not rusty or anything. So I'm leaving those alone and just doing the hydraulic parts themselves. All right, we've got our master cylinder overfilled with fluid. Down here, we've got our line all hooked up. We've got our flashlight turned off. We've got our slave cylinder all tightened up there. Down. Oh no, that was not supposed to be sideways. Oh well, didn't leak much. To our vacuum pump. We're going to go ahead and get this fluid through. Make sure you have a little bit of brake fluid in there whenever you're bleeding your brakes, whether it be brakes, clutch, whatever. Yeah, you'll need a little bit of fluid in the bottom. So that straw, whether that be a vacuum pump or just a regular bleeder kit, just make sure you got that. But yeah, we're going to get this sucker bled. All right, so we've got the whole clutch hydraulic system bled. Car is back on the ground now. Let's go ahead and give her a little test drive. All right, we got her idle in here. Let's give her a little test. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, butter. That's great. All right. Well, I hope this video helped you guys if you're working on your own clutch hydraulic system. I'm happy with what we got done today. We were able to get it all replaced, bled, runs great, shifts smooth. I'm happy. So yeah, I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded. I uploaded on something about my old Jeep, which I no longer have, like 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm gonna try and be a little more consistent in uploading. Got some headrest speakers I might be replacing in this thing, so I make a video about that. We'll see if I remember. Yeah, thanks, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Catch y'all in the next one.